This girl is Sun-hee, and she's truly perfect, not only beautiful, but ranked first in her entire school. She has handsome admirers, loving parents, and a family everyone envies. Her father is a renowned lawyer who's won the Outstanding Talent Award for 4 consecutive years. But this seemingly perfect family hides an astonishing secret that's about to be exposed. The secret's revelation begins when a transfer student named Soo-yeon joins their class. During introductions, Soo-yeon walks straight to Sun-hee and asks if she still remembers her. Sun-hee looks confused. Soo-yeon seems disappointed as she watches Sun-hee casually pin up her hair with a pen, a gesture that triggers familiar memories. Sun-hee has everything: wealth, beauty, academic excellence, and 2 handsome boys, Jin-ho and Hyun-yeon, who are completely devoted to her. Jin-ho is straightforward and bold with his feelings, while Hyun-yeon quietly admires her from a distance, too aware of their different social classes to confess. She never imagined her perfect life would be completely shattered by this mysterious transfer student. One day while Sun-hee is reading, Soo-yeon approaches and takes down the pen holding Sun-hee's hair. When Sun-hee looks puzzled, Soo-yeon pulls out an old matchbox and asks if Sun-hee remembers it. The moment Sun-hee sees that familiar matchbox, her memory is pulled back over 10 years to a time she'd tried to forget. Young Sun-hee had lost both parents and ended up in an orphanage, where she was constantly bullied by boys her age. Her life was miserable and lonely, until one night, everything changed. Soo-yeon appeared like a guardian angel. When boys surrounded Sun-hee to bully her, Soo-yeon lit a match and told a terrifying story about her father killing her mother. The story was so chilling it scared the bullies away completely. Soo-yeon had also been abandoned by her parents and lived in the same orphanage. 2 girls of similar age with similar tragic backgrounds quickly became inseparable best friends. Soo-yeon would help Sun-hee pin up her hair with a pen, read fairy tales to comfort her, and light matches to protect her from bullies. Those times of mutual comfort and protection were the most beautiful memories of their childhood. But good times never last. One day, Soo-yeon was about to be adopted by a family. It should have been a happy moment, but for Sun-hee, it meant losing her only friend. Before leaving the orphanage, Soo-yeon gave Sun-hee her most precious possession, the matchbox that had protected them both. After Soo-yeon left, Sun-hee became desperately lonely again. That night, young Sun-hee couldn't bear the thought of being alone forever. In her grief and desperation, she secretly took out the matches Soo-yeon had given her and lit one. She didn't mean to cause harm. She just wanted to feel close to her friend one more time. But the small flame grew out of control. The match ignited a massive fire that consumed the entire orphanage. In the chaos and flames, Soo-yeon, who was still there that night, was badly burned. Half her head was scarred forever. Because of her injuries and the expensive medical treatment required, the family that was going to adopt her changed their minds. Soo-yeon lost everything in that fire. Meanwhile, Sun-hee was adopted shortly after. Through pure chance, she became the lucky one who gained a perfect new life, while Soo-yeon remained in the welfare system, scarred and alone. Now, years later, the 2 former friends are reunited. But their lives couldn't be more different. Soo-yeon still lives with her sisters from the orphanage in a small shared apartment. She works part-time jobs just to afford basic necessities. Meanwhile, Sun-hee has wealth, status, loving parents, and a bright future ahead of her. Soo-yeon's voice is full of regret as she compares their current situations. Sun-hee feels terrible guilt wash over her. She reaches out and holds Soo-yeon's hand, promising to help her old friend find the happiness she deserves. Soo-yeon's gaze falls on the swan pendant hanging from Sun-hee's backpack, a beautiful, expensive gift from Jin-ho. She asks Sun-hee to give her the pendant as a symbol of their renewed friendship. Sun-hee is reluctant in her heart. The pendant means a lot to her. But unable to resist Soo-yeon's earnest, almost desperate eyes, she finally agrees to give it up. That evening at home, Sun-hee's mind is consumed with thoughts about Soo-yeon. She's so distracted that she zones out completely during dinner with her parents. Back in her room, she wants to call Soo-yeon but hesitates. Something about their interaction felt uncomfortable, though she can't explain why. Sun-hee decides to ask her father, a successful lawyer, for advice. She explains, "I really want to be friends with Soo-yeon, but every time we're together, I feel strange. Unlike my other friends, Soo-yeon seems guarded. I can never figure out what she's really thinking." Her father suggests writing a letter to express what she can't say out loud. At school, the contrast between their lives becomes even more apparent. One day, Soo-yeon desperately needs to borrow money from Sun-hee. Her boss disappeared without paying her last month's wages, and she needs supplies for class. But Sun-hee is wearing earphones and doesn't hear Soo-yeon clearly the first time. Soo-yeon immediately thinks Sun-hee is deliberately ignoring her. Her face flushes with humiliation and anger. She raises her voice, almost shouting the request again. The other students turn to stare. Sun-hee, startled and frightened by Soo-yeon's sudden rage, quickly promises to bring money the next day. The next day, Jin-ho witnesses the uncomfortable dynamic between them. Protective of Sun-hee, Jin-ho privately gives Soo-yeon money but warns her not to bully Sun-hee. This gesture, meant to be helpful, only wounds Soo-yeon's pride even deeper. She feels like a beggar, a charity case. Humiliated and furious, Soo-yeon shoves Jin-ho away and throws the money back at him. In front of all their classmates, she demands loudly, "Do I look like a beggar to you?" The scene creates an awkward tension among all the students. After school, as Sun-hee's mother arrives to pick her up in their expensive car, Soo-yeon watches from a distance. Another wealthy student, Kyung-hwan, also gets in the car with Sun-hee's family. Soo-yeon stands alone on the sidewalk, comparing her shabby situation to their affluent lives. The gap between them feels impossibly wide. Two jealous female classmates approach Soo-yeon, hoping to recruit her in their plan to bully the perfect Sun-hee. They're tired of Sun-hee's perfection and want someone to take her down. But Soo-yeon refuses immediately. Despite her complicated feelings, she won't betray Sun-hee that way. Despite the money incident, Jin-ho seeks out Soo-yeon to apologize for his insensitive behavior. As Soo-yeon talks with this nearly perfect, handsome, and kind boy, her heart begins to waver. Maybe, she thinks, maybe someone like Jin-ho could care about someone like her. Sun-hee also apologizes to Soo-yeon after the borrowing incident, trying to restore their friendship. During their conversation, Soo-yeon learns something that makes her heart sink. It was Sun-hee who asked Jin-ho to apologize. Jin-ho didn't come on his own. Once again, everything good in Soo-yeon's life seems to come through Sun-hee's charity. The realization fills her face with disappointment. Meanwhile, Soo-yeon notices Hyun-yeon's quiet devotion to Sun-hee. She approaches him and asks directly if he's ever confessed his feelings. Hyun-yeon shakes his head sadly. His family runs a modest laundry shop, nothing compared to Jin-ho's wealthy family or Sunny's lawyer father. The class difference feels insurmountable. He's never even told his best friend Jin-ho about his feelings. Soo-yeon tries to encourage him. Children can't choose their parents or their circumstances. Compared to me, who grew up in an orphanage, your situation is much better. Her words are both kind and tinged with her own pain. That evening, as Sun-hee is leaving her tutoring class, Soo-yeon appears and pulls her aside mysteriously. "I need to tell you something important," she says urgently. They go to a secluded corner, and Soo-yeon slowly removes the wig she always wears. Sun-hee gasps in shock. Half of Soo-yeon's head is covered in terrible burn scars, the permanent reminder of that night in the orphanage so many years ago. Sun-hee is both shocked and frightened by the exposed scars before her. But Soo-yeon steps closer, her eyes intense and accusing. She tells Sun-hee the complete truth. "Everything that's wrong with my life is because of you. That fire, you started it. The night before I was supposed to be adopted, you lit those matches I gave you. You burned down the orphanage. I was burned in that fire because of you." Soo-yeon's voice cracks with emotion as she continues. "While I was in the hospital recovering from burns, you became the lucky girl who got adopted. The couple who was going to adopt me abandoned me when they saw my scars. After I was discharged, a local politician held a charity event for disaster victims and gave me this wig. Do you know what I did? I ripped it off and stomped on it. I didn't want their pity. But then, her voice drops to a whisper, I picked it up again. Because I had no choice. From that moment, my life became nothing but anger and despair." Sun-hee's face is wet with tears. She apologizes over and over, her voice breaking. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean to." But Soo-yeon cuts her off coldly. "Sorry doesn't change anything now. You owe me. And you're going to spend the rest of your life paying me back." Sun-hee returns home that night unable to sleep, tortured by guilt. Remembering her father's advice about writing a letter, She gets up and pours her heart onto paper. She writes about the guilt she carries, about not knowing Soo-yeon had been hurt, about thinking Soo-yeon had been adopted and lived a happy life like herself. She promises to dedicate her life to making things right and hopes they can become best friends again, like they were in the orphanage. The next morning, Soo-yeon finds the letter tucked under her desk. As she reads Sun-hee's sincere words and desperate promises, her expression softens. The two female classmates who wanted to bully Sun-hee approach Soo-yeon, mockingly asking what secrets she and Sun-hee share. Soo-yeon snaps at them, teaching them a harsh lesson and threatening. If you ever bully Sun-hee, I won't forgive you. Despite everything, Soo-yeon is genuinely moved by Sun-hee's heartfelt letter. After school, she calls out to Sun-hee and thanks her for writing it. Sun-hee smiles with relief, hope rekindling that their friendship can be repaired. On their way home that day, the two jealous female classmates haven't forgotten Soo-yeon's earlier humiliation. They call over several male students to take revenge on Soo-yeon. As the boys surround her, Soo-yeon tries to fight back, but she's outnumbered and overwhelmed. Suddenly, like fate itself intervening, Jin-ho appears. He charges into the group and helps Soo-yeon fight off the attackers. Hyun-yeon is there too, joining the fight to protect Soo-yeon. After the bullies flee in panic, police sirens wail in the distance. Jin-ho quickly grabs Soo-yeon's hand and pulls her away from the scene. In that instant, feeling his warm hand around hers, seeing him risk himself to protect her, Soo-yeon's heart races. Maybe, she thinks desperately, maybe he does care about her after all. The next day at school, Sun-hee and Jin-ho are taking photos with his new phone, laughing together. Hyun-yeon jokes that he wants to take pictures with Sun-hee too, and Jin-ho playfully refuses. Soo-yeon approaches and offers to take a group photo of all three of them. After she takes the picture, Soo-yeon suggests taking one with just her and Jin-ho. But innocent Sun-hee doesn't understand the significance. She jumps into the frame with a cheerful peace sign, completely oblivious to Soo-yeon's disappointment. Soo-yeon's smile freezes on her face. That evening, Sun-hee invites Soo-yeon to her home for dinner. Soo-yeon sees Sun-hee's beautiful house, her warm and loving parents, the table full of delicious food. Her heart fills with overwhelming envy. When Sun-hee suggests Soo-yeon stay overnight, Soo-yeon makes an excuse about her period and hurries away. She can't bear to stay in that perfect home, surrounded by everything she'll never have. At school, Soo-yeon overhears another conversation that shatters her completely. Jin-ho tells Hyun-yeon he's finally ready. He's going to confess his feelings to Sun-hee. Hyun-yeon asks about Soo-yeon, wondering if Jin-ho has feelings for her. Jin-ho's response is immediate and clear. I like Sun-hee. Only Sun-hee. Whatever Soo-yeon thinks or feels, I don't care at all. This time, the words hit even harder. Soo-yeon's face goes pale. She rushes to find Sun-hee and grabs her desperately. If Jin-ho tries to talk to you today, if he tries to tell you something, you can't listen to him. Promise me you won't listen. Sun-hee is confused by Soo-yeon's intensity. Soo-yeon shouts louder, more desperately. Promise me. If you listen to him, I'll never forgive you. We'll be done forever. That afternoon after school, just as Soo-yeon predicted, Jin-ho catches up to Sun-hee. I need to talk to you alone, he says, his voice nervous but determined. I have something important to tell you. Sun-hee remembers Soo-yeon's desperate warning. Confused and torn, she makes up a quick excuse and hurries away. Jin-ho stands alone, disappointed. As Sun-hee nears her home, she again invites Soo-yeon to dinner, but this time Soo-yeon refuses coldly. Sun-hee suddenly remembers she forgot to give Soo-yeon the tutoring materials she'd promised. She rushes back to catch Soo-yeon and sees her walking into Jin-ho's house. Inside Jin-ho's home, the living room is decorated with balloons and scattered rose petals. Jin-ho has prepared an elaborate confession scene to surprise Sun-hee. When Soo-yeon sees all of this, the romantic setup clearly meant for her best friend, her heart breaks completely. She confronts Jin-ho. Don't do this surprise. It's going to fail. Jin-ho is confused. What are you talking about? Soo-yeon pulls out the swan pendant from her pocket. Sun-hee gave this to me because she doesn't want it. She told me she doesn't like you. Jin-ho just smiles gently. Sun-hee isn't that kind of person. You either stole this or took it from her. Give it back. Soo-yeon refuses. Jin-ho steps closer, demanding she return the pendant. His tone becomes accusatory. Stop lying to Sun-hee. Stop deceiving her. As Jin-ho steps closer and closer, something in Soo-yeon snaps. All the pain, all the injustice of her life comes flooding out. She starts destroying the party decorations Jin-ho spent hours setting up, ripping down balloons, scattering rose petals, knocking over furniture. Tears stream down her face as she destroys everything. Jin-ho tries to stop her, to calm her down. But during their struggle, the worst possible thing happens. Soo-yeon's wig is knocked off her head. It falls to the floor, exposing her terrible burn scars to Jin-ho's shocked eyes. For Soo-yeon, this is the ultimate humiliation. The boy she secretly loves is seeing her at her most vulnerable, her most ugly. Her carefully guarded dignity crumbles completely. She crawls on the floor, trying desperately to retrieve her wig, her face burning with shame. Through her tears and humiliation, Soo-yeon grabs a knife from the nearby kitchen counter. She doesn't want to continue this painful, hopeless life anymore. She just wants everything to end. Jin-ho panics and tries to wrestle the knife away from her. Stop! Don't do this. At that exact moment, Sun-hee, who's been waiting anxiously outside, hears the commotion and bursts through the door. The moment Sun-hee enters, all of Soo-yeon's rage and pain redirect toward her friend. This is all your fault. Soo-yeon screams. Everything wrong in my life is because of you. She rushes at Sun-hee with the knife raised. Jin-ho doesn't hesitate. He throws himself between them, taking the blade meant for Sun-hee. The knife plunges into his chest. Jin-ho's eyes widen in shock and pain. He stumbles backward and collapses to the floor. Blood spreads across the carpet. Soo-yeon stares at the knife in her hand, horrified. Sun-hee screams. A tragedy has begun. Sun-hee walks home in a daze, completely covered in Jin-ho's blood. Her mind can barely process what just happened. Her mother opens the door and gasps in horror at the sight of her blood-soaked daughter. Mom, Sun-hee says in a small, broken voice. I killed Jin-ho. But she doesn't mention Soo-yeon. She doesn't explain what really happened. She just takes all the blame on herself. Her mother's reaction is eerily calm. Instead of panic or tears, she becomes coldly practical. She asks detailed, specific questions. What weapon was used? Where is Jin-ho's body exactly? What did you touch? What did you leave behind? Sun-hee recalls that she left her phone and tutoring materials at Jin-ho's house. Her mother nods, processing this information. I want to turn myself in, Sun-hee says, starting to cry. No, her mother says firmly. You will not turn yourself in. I need you to trust me completely. Can you do that? Sun-hee nods weakly. Her mother's first action is methodical. Take a bath. Change your clothes. Give everything to me. While Sun-hee bathes, her mother prepares a glass of warm milk. She adds sleeping pills to it, stirring until they dissolve completely. When Sun-hee emerges clean but still shaking, her mother hands her the milk with a gentle smile. Drink this. It'll help you sleep. You need rest. Sun-hee drinks the drugged milk. Her mother tells her, I'm going to Jin-ho's house to check on him. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe we can still call an ambulance. Sun-hee mentions turning herself in again. Her mother's voice turns cold. If you turn yourself in, you'll make me an accomplice. Is that what you want? To destroy your mother too? The guilt stops Sun-hee's protests. She says nothing more. That night, the sleeping pills take effect. Sun-hee falls into a deep, dreamless sleep. When she wakes the next morning, something impossible has happened. Her phone and tutoring materials, which she definitely left at the crime scene, are now sitting perfectly on her desk. Sun-hee walks out of her room in confusion. In the kitchen, her mother is cooking breakfast as usual. Her father is helping, setting the table. The atmosphere is warm and normal, as if last night was just a terrible nightmare. Sun-hee is about to convince herself it was all a dream when she turns on the television. Breaking news. Last night, a massive fire destroyed a home in their neighborhood. 3 family members, a father, mother, and their teenage son, died in their sleep. The reporter shows footage of the burned house. Sun-hee recognizes it immediately. It's Jin-ho's house. She looks at her parents. They're calmly eating breakfast, showing no reaction to the news. Her mother glances at Sun-hee with an unreadable expression. Her father continues drinking his coffee as if nothing is wrong. In that moment, Sun-hee realizes with cold certainty, her parents didn't just cover up Jin-ho's death. They burned down his entire house to destroy all evidence. The next day, police begin investigating the fire. Detective Shin is assigned to the case. At the scene, officers discover the fire started in Jin-ho's bedroom. The likely cause appears to be paint thinner belonging to Jin-ho's father, who was a painter. But something catches Detective Shin's attention, a girl in the crowd of onlookers. It's Soo-yeon, and she looks terrified. When their eyes meet, Soo-yeon immediately turns and hurries away. Detective Shin's instincts tell him something is wrong. This wasn't an accident, he tells his junior partner, Officer Lee. Someone set this fire deliberately. We need to investigate everyone close to Jin-ho. Meanwhile, Soo-yeon frantically tries calling Sun-hee. She makes over 30 calls in a row, but Sun-hee doesn't answer. Sun-hee is locked in her room, head in her hands, paralyzed by fear and guilt. She can't face Soo-yeon. She can't face anyone. The forensic report comes back with shocking news. Jin-ho didn't die from the fire. He died from stab wounds. Someone killed him first, then set the fire to cover it up. This changes everything. It's now officially a murder investigation. Sun-hee's life continues to spiral. At school, she's distracted and anxious. She barely sleeps. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees Jin-ho's blood. A mysterious man approaches Sun-hee one day after school. He claims to be a relative of her father's, someone who met her when she was young. Before leaving, he leans close and whispers, "Be careful of your parents. They're not who you think they are." Sun-hee is shaken. When she returns home, she notices her father watching the man leave from an upstairs window, his expression dark and unreadable. That night, Sun-hee can't sleep. The mysterious man's words echo in her mind. She remembers the locked room in their house, the one room she's never been allowed to enter. Her parents have always been extremely strict about that rule. Driven by curiosity and fear, Sun-hee sneaks to the forbidden room's door. She presses her ear against it, listening. She hears nothing. But when she tries a set of keys she found in the utility room, none of them work. The next day, with Hyun-yeon's help as a lookout, Sun-hee tries again. This time, she has Hyun-yeon bring a ladder. While her parents are out, she climbs up and opens the window from outside. Inside the forbidden room, everything is preserved like a time capsule. There's a toy car on the nightstand, children's books on the shelf, and most importantly, a photograph on the desk. In the photo are Sun-hee's parents, an elderly woman she's never met, and a teenage boy she doesn't recognize. The boy looks happy, standing between Sun-hee's parents with a bright smile. Sun-hee's hands tremble as she holds the photo. Who is this boy? And why have her parents kept this room locked all these years? Before she can investigate further, she hears her parents' car pulling up outside. Sun-hee quickly hides the photo in her clothes, puts on a bathrobe, and pretends she just finished showering. Her parents come home and check her room. Her mother goes to the bathroom and notices there are no wet clothes in the hamper. Sun-hee wasn't actually showering. But in front of Sun-hee, her mother says nothing, acting as if she didn't notice. Sun-hee takes the photo to her grandmother's estate, a mansion she's never visited before. The butler leads her to a grand hall where an elderly woman in a wheelchair waits. This is Sun-hee's grandmother, though they've never had a close relationship. The old woman looks at Sun-hee with cold, unwelcoming eyes. Sun-hee shows her the photograph. "Who is this boy?" she asks directly. Her grandmother's face twists with rage. "Even if you know the truth," she spits out, "you will never be real family. You're not our blood." Sun-hee presses for answers, but her grandmother becomes violent. She grabs a nearby vase and hurls it at Sun-hee. The vase shatters on the floor near Sun-hee's feet. "Get out," the grandmother screams. "Never come back here." Hyun-yeon, who accompanied Sun-hee, quickly pulls her away before things escalate further. Outside, he tends to a small cut Sun-hee got from the broken vase. As he's bandaging her, Hyun-yeon asks carefully, "This all started when Soo-yeon transferred to our school, didn't it? Everything strange, everything wrong. It all began then." Sun-hee doesn't answer, but Hyun-yeon can see the truth in her eyes. "I know you're hiding something," he says gently. "You don't have to tell me if you're not ready. But know this. No matter what happens, no matter where you need to go or what you need to say, I'll be there. I'll always protect you." Sun-hee's eyes fill with tears. She nods, unable to speak. As the sun sets, Hyun-yeon carries Sun-hee on his back, walking her home. It's a simple gesture, but it means everything to Sun-hee in that moment. On the way, Hyun-yeon tells her, "Do you know what friend means in the Native American language? It means the one who carries your sorrow." That's what I want to be for you. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a sticky candy, the kind he's been saving for days to give her. It's a small gift, but the gesture is so pure and kind that Sun-hee starts crying again. That night, Sun-hee writes in her diary about Hyun-yun's kindness. Despite all the terrible things happening, his friendship feels like a light in the darkness. What Sun-hee doesn't know is that her parents have been reading her diary for years. That night, after Sun-hee falls asleep, her father enters her room with practiced silence. He knows exactly where she hides the key to her diary's lock, inside a small decorative box on her shelf. He opens the diary and reads her recent entries. Her curiosity about the mysterious man, her confusion about the photo, her fear of her parents, and her growing trust in Hyun-yun. Her father photographs several pages with his phone, then carefully returns everything to its exact position. The mysterious man contacts Sun-hee again. This time, he asks to meet her privately. When they meet, he shows her a police badge. "I'm not actually your father's relative," he admits. "I'm Officer Jang, and I've been investigating your parents for years." He tells Sun-hee a shocking story. 12 years ago, there was a major fire and kidnapping case. Your parents' biological son died in that fire. At the time, I suspected your father was involved in the boy's death. But the case was mysteriously closed, and all evidence disappeared. Someone with power covered it up. He leans closer. Your father was a prosecutor back then. He had the connections to bury the investigation. And I believe he killed his own son. Sun-hee's face goes pale. That's impossible. My father would never. Listen to me. Officer Jang interrupts urgently. You're in danger. As the adopted daughter, you're nothing but a replacement, a living reminder of the son they lost. I think they're planning to get rid of you too. He gives her his phone number. If anything happens, anything at all, call me immediately. I'll protect you. Sun-hee returns home, her mind reeling. That night, her mother is cooking dinner. Sun-hee goes to the kitchen to help and notices something horrifying on the counter, a large jar of peanut powder. Sun-hee is severely allergic to peanuts. Even a small amount could kill her. Her parents know this. They've always been extremely careful about her allergy. So why did her mother buy peanut powder? Sun-hee's hands start shaking. She walks past her parents' bedroom and overhears part of their conversation. We have to do it quickly, her mother is saying, her voice stressed and urgent. Keep your voice down, her father responds. We can't let Sun-hee hear any of this. Sun-hee's blood runs cold. Combined with the peanut powder, Officer Jang's warnings, and her parents' strange behavior, she reaches a terrifying conclusion. Her parents are planning to kill her. That night, Hyun-yun sends her a message. He went to the police station and reported what he knows about Soo-yun sending Sun-hee suspicious messages. The police told him Soo-yun's phone has been off since the day after Jin-ho died. The last time it was active was briefly the morning after the fire. This means, Hyun-yun writes, whoever messaged you pretending to be Soo-yun that day wasn't actually Soo-yun. Someone else was luring you. Sun-hee's terror intensifies. Who was pretending to be Soo-yun? And why? That evening, Sun-hee's mother brings a bowl of hot porridge to her room. You haven't eaten properly in days, her mother says with a gentle smile. Come on, eat this while it's hot. But to Sun-hee, her mother's smile looks sinister. The words, eat this, sound like a death sentence. All she can think about is the peanut powder in the kitchen. Is the porridge poisoned? Is this how they plan to kill me? In a panic, Sun-hee slaps the bowl out of her mother's hands. The porridge spills across the floor. Her mother looks shocked and hurt, but Sun-hee doesn't wait to explain. She runs out of the house into the rainy night. Outside, Sun-hee's mind races with terrifying thoughts. Jin-ho's death, the fire, Soo-yun's disappearance, the peanut powder, her parents' whispered conversations. She becomes convinced that her own parents, the people who raised her, who she loved, are planning to murder her. Rain pours down as Sun-hee stumbles through the streets, soaking wet and shivering. She hides in a cardboard box in an alley, crying and alone. Finally, she calls Hyun-yun. I ran away from home, she sobs into the phone. I can't go back. I can't. Hyun-yun doesn't ask questions. Tell me where you are. I'm coming right now. While Sun-hee waits for Hyun-yun, hiding in the shadows, a dark figure passes through the alley. Sunny's heart pounds. Is someone following her? Terrified, she runs toward a busy intersection. At the crosswalk, waiting for the light to change, Sun-hee feels eyes on her back. Someone is definitely watching her. Before she can turn around, she feels hands on her back, pushing hard. Sun-hee stumbles forward into the street just as a car speeds toward her. The impact sends her flying. At that exact moment, Hyun-yun is at a nearby convenience store buying an umbrella for Sun-hee. Through the window, he sees a taxi idling outside. The same taxi from the intersection. His instincts scream danger. He runs outside just in time to see a figure in a black raincoat walking away quickly. Hyun-yun tries to chase them, but the person gets into the taxi and speeds away. Then Sun-hee's father appears, also wearing a black raincoat. He hands Hyun-yun an umbrella. "I got your message about Sun-hee," he says calmly. "Where is she?" Before Hyun-yun can respond, Sun-hee's mother calls her husband, frantic. Sun-hee's been in an accident. They're taking her to the hospital. Sun-hee wakes up in a hospital bed. Fortunately, her injuries aren't serious, just bruises and shock. But as she lies there, sedated and drifting in and out of consciousness, she has a terrifying hallucination. She sees a figure standing over her bed. In her drugged state, she thinks it's her mother. The figure's hands wrap around Sun-hee's throat, squeezing. "Why are you still alive?" the voice hisses. "Why won't you just die?" Sun-hee's body convulses on the bed. Out in the hallway, her mother hears the commotion and rushes in, calling for help. But when Sun-hee sees her mother's face, she screams in terror. Hyun-yun and the doctors manage to calm Sun-hee down. After she regains some clarity, she calls out desperately, "Hyun-yun, please, you have to help me. My father, he wants to kill me." Sun-hee's parents, standing in the doorway, hear every word. Their faces show hurt and confusion, or is it guilt? Detective Shin, who's been monitoring the family, rushes to Sun-hee's bedside. "Tell me everything," he urges. "What do you know?" But before Sun-hee can explain, she loses consciousness again, overwhelmed by stress and medication. While unconscious, Sun-hee has a vivid nightmare. She's a small child again, trying desperately to light a match. No matter how many times she strikes it, the match won't ignite. Soo-yeon appears in the dream, her face sad. All the clues point to one truth. Dream Soo-yeon says, "Your parents want you dead." She takes the match from young Sun-hee's hand and lights it easily. Then she tosses the flaming match behind her. It lands on gasoline, and flames erupt everywhere. Soo-yeon removes her wig, showing her terrible scars. "I died because of you, and now you'll die because of them." The fire grows larger, consuming everything. Soo-yeon's figure disappears into the flames. Young Sun-hee screams. Sun-hee wakes up gasping. Her mother is sleeping in a chair beside her bed. While her mother goes to call the doctor, Sun-hee frantically texts Officer Jang. "Please save me. I think my parents are going to kill me. Please." Officer Jang responds immediately. "I'm coming. Stay safe." What Sun-hee doesn't know is that Officer Jang is reviewing dashcam footage from the night Soo-yeon disappeared. The video shows Soo-yeon being attacked in a car, then escaping and running away. Meanwhile, Hyun-yun has a sudden realization. He remembers seeing someone in a black raincoat the night Sun-hee was pushed into traffic. He's been trying to remember the person's face, and now it suddenly comes to him. He makes a phone call. When someone answers, Hyun-yun says shakily, "Soo-yeon, I need to talk to you." "I know it was you." The person on the other end is silent. "I saw you that night," Hyun-yun continues. "You were wearing the black raincoat. You pushed Sun-hee into the street." At the hospital, Detective Shin confronts Sun-hee's father with the dashcam footage from the night of Sun-hee's accident. The video clearly shows someone pushing Sun-hee into traffic. "This wasn't an accident," Detective Shin says coldly. "Someone tried to murder your daughter." Sun-hee's father barely reacts. His face is emotionless, almost cold. The footage is too blurry to show anything conclusive. Detective Shin's suspicions intensify, starting with Jin-ho's death, then Soo-yeon's disappearance. Now the attempt on Sun-hee's life. Too many accidents surround this family. Unable to get a search warrant through official channels, Detective Shin uses unconventional methods. He arranges for a petty criminal to deliberately crash into Sun-hee's father's car. While the car is being repaired, Detective Shin sends in a forensics expert to search it thoroughly. They find two critical pieces of evidence. The car's dashcam memory card has been recently replaced, the old one removed and destroyed. And in the trunk, hidden in crevices, they find traces of blood. DNA tests confirm the blood belongs to Soo-yeon. Several days later, Sun-hee is discharged from the hospital. In the car ride home, The atmosphere is suffocating. Her father asks quietly, "What did you mean when you said I wanted to kill you? Do you really believe that?" Sun-hee stares straight ahead, her face expressionless. She doesn't answer. When they arrive home, police cars are already waiting. Detective Shin steps forward with an arrest warrant. "You're under arrest for the kidnapping and murder of Soo-yeon," he announces, handcuffing Sun-hee's father. Sun-hee watches in shock as her father is led away. She collapses to her knees on the front lawn, unable to process what's happening. As Sun-hee sits in shock, memories flood back. Memories of when she first came to this family 12 years ago. It was Christmas morning. Young Sun-hee woke up to find a red string tied to her finger. Curious, she followed the string through the house, down the stairs, and out into the yard. At the end of the string was a beautiful bicycle with a big red bow, her first Christmas gift from her new parents. Her adoptive father taught her to ride. Her adoptive mother cheered and took photos. Every day after that, young Sun-hee rode her bicycle around the neighborhood, laughing and free. For the first time in her life, she felt truly happy and safe. One day, the bicycle was stolen. Sun-hee cried for hours. A week later, in the park, she saw another girl riding what looked like her bicycle. Her father wanted to confront the thief, but young Sun-hee stopped him. "It's okay, Dad," she said, holding his hand. "I have so many other good memories with you and Mom. The bicycle doesn't matter." Her father looked down at his adopted daughter with tears in his eyes and an overwhelming smile. In that moment, he knew she was truly his daughter, blood or not. At the police station, Detective Shin interrogates Sun-hee's father. The DNA evidence is irrefutable. Soo-yeon's blood was in his car. But Sun-hee's father, a brilliant lawyer, remains calm. "My car was stolen that week," he claims. "Anyone could have used it. This evidence proves nothing." Detective Shin isn't convinced. "Where's Soo-yeon's body? What did you do with her?" "I have no idea what you're talking about. You have no body, no witnesses, no concrete proof. This arrest is a mistake." While the interrogation continues, Sun-hee's mother arrives at the police station. She has an alibi for her husband, evidence that he was at his law office during the time Soo-yeon disappeared. The police are forced to verify her claims, and the timeline checks out. Sun-hee's father never left his office that day. So who drove his car? Who attacked Soo-yeon? While the police investigate, Hyun-yeon takes matters into his own hands. He sends a message to Soo-yeon, asking to meet her in the alley where Sun-hee was hit by the car. As he waits in the alley, he notices movement in the shadows. A figure appears briefly, then vanishes. Officer Lee, Detective Shin's young partner, arrives. "What are you doing here?" he asks Hyun-yeon. "I'm meeting Soo-yeon," Hyun-yeon explains. "I saw her the night Sun-hee was attacked. I know she's alive." Officer Lee's eyes widen. If Soo-yeon's alive, then Sun-hee's father is innocent. "We need to find her immediately." After Officer Lee leaves, Hyun-yeon waits alone. Suddenly, a figure rushes out from the darkness. Before Hyun-yeon can react, a knife plunges into his abdomen. Hyun-yeon gasps and collapses. Through his fading vision, he sees his attacker's face, Soo-yeon. Officer Lee hears Hyun-yeon's cry and runs back. He finds Hyun-yeon bleeding on the ground and immediately calls for an ambulance. Before losing consciousness, Hyun-yeon whispers, "It was Soo-yeon. She's alive. She stabbed me." As the news spreads quickly, Soo-yeon is alive. This changes everything. If she's alive, Sun-hee's father couldn't have murdered her. The charges are dropped, and he's released. But if Soo-yeon is alive and attacking people, then she must be the one who killed Jin-ho and set the fire. Detective Shin orders an immediate manhunt. Sun-hee doesn't know any of this yet. All she knows is that her parents have been released and that Hyun-yeon is in the hospital, seriously injured. When Sun-hee visits Hyun-yeon, Detective Shin tells her what happened. Before he lost consciousness, he said, "Danger," Detective Shin explains. "We think he was trying to warn you." Sun-hee tries calling her parents, but they don't answer. A terrible feeling washes over her. She and her parents rush home, only to find their house surrounded by shattered glass. Someone has broken in. Sun-hee enters her house cautiously. Glass crunches under her feet. The living room windows are smashed. The bedroom windows are destroyed. "Soo-yeon," Sun-hee calls out. "Are you here?" A voice responds from the darkness. "I'm here." Soo-yeon steps out, her wig gone, her scars fully visible. In her hand is a knife, covered in blood. "I just saw Hyun-yeon," she says with an eerie smile. We had a nice conversation. She throws the knife on the ground. Don't worry. I'm not going to let you die quickly. That would be too easy. Soo-yeon picks up a shovel and slams it into the floor repeatedly, her rage building. Sun-hee backs away, terrified, asking desperately about Hyun-yeon's condition. Soo-yeon's anger explodes. She swings the shovel at Sun-hee, striking her head. Sun-hee crumples to the ground, unconscious. When Sun-hee wakes up, she's tied to a chair in her bedroom. Soo-yeon stands before her, holding a large container of gasoline. She pours it methodically around the room, on the floors, the walls, the furniture. The smell is overwhelming. Sun-hee's eyes fill with tears of terror. You promised me, Soo-yeon says, her voice breaking. You promised you'd turn yourself in. You promised you'd take responsibility for killing Jin-ho. But you didn't. You let me take all the blame. Soo-yeon, please, Sun-hee tries to explain. I could have forgiven that. Soo-yeon screams. But you tried to kill me. Your parents tried to kill me. After everything, you wanted me dead. That's not true. Sun-hee sobs. I never tried to hurt you. My parents never. Liar. Soo-yeon slaps her hard across the face. I found the swan pendant in your room. Your father had it. He attacked me. He tried to kill me and dump my body in the river. Soo-yeon pulls out a matchbox, the same one from their childhood. You ruined my life with fire. Now I'll ruin yours the same way. Just as she's about to light the match, someone rings the doorbell. Officer Jang has been monitoring Sun-hee's texts. When she sent her desperate plea for help, he came immediately. He rings the doorbell repeatedly. No answer. Making a decision, Officer Jang climbs over the wall and enters through the garden. He sees the shattered windows and knows something terrible is happening. He approaches Sun-hee's bedroom door and hears voices inside. Soo-yeon threatening Sun-hee. Officer Jang pushes open the door. Sun-hee's face floods with relief. Officer Jang, please help me. But Soo-yeon is terrified now too. She grabs the bloody knife from before and holds it to Sun-hee's throat. Don't come any closer. If you move, I'll kill her. Officer Jang glances at the gasoline-soaked floor. Then, calmly, he leans against the window frame and pulls out a cigarette. What are you doing? Soo-yeon screams. Put that out. Are you insane? But Officer Jang just smiles, a cold, evil smile. He lights the cigarette, takes one drag, and then deliberately drops it onto the gasoline-covered floor. The room explodes into flames. Sun-hee stares in horror as the man she trusted, the man she thought was protecting her, calmly watches her burn. Soo-yeon realizes the truth instantly. This man was never a police officer. He's not here to save anyone. He's here to kill them both. In desperation, Soo-yeon uses the knife to cut through the ropes binding Sun-hee. Come on, she screams over the roaring flames. We have to get out. She grabs Sun-hee's hand and pulls her toward the window. Through the smoke and heat, they stumble together. Officer Jang, or whoever he really is, snatches the knife from Soo-yeon's hand. He points it at her throat, forcing her backward toward the flames. Perfect, he says calmly. The narrative is already written. Soo-yeon, the unstable killer, set fire to Sun-hee's house. She died in the blaze. Case closed. Sun-hee suddenly lunges at the man, screaming, Run, Soo-yeon, get out of here. The man backhands Sun-hee, sending her sprawling. He advances on Soo-yeon, blade ready. Suddenly, gunshots ring out. Detective Shin's partner, Officer Lee, has arrived. He points his service weapon at the fake officer. Police. Drop the knife. The man smoothly switches tactics. Thank God you're here, officer. I'm also police, Officer Jang. This woman attacked me with a knife. I was trying to subdue her when the fire started. We need to evacuate immediately. Officer Lee, seeing the spreading flames and smoke, believes him. He lowers his weapon slightly and moves towards Sun-hee to rescue her. The moment Officer Lee's back is turned, the fake Officer Jang strikes. He knocks Officer Lee down and grabs his gun. Soo-yeon tries to run. The man aims the gun at her. Stop. Come here and pick up your knife. Soo-yeon has no choice. She walks forward and reaches for the knife on the ground. The instant her fingers touch it, the man shoots her. The bullet tears through Soo-yeon's shoulder. She falls, and the man smiles with satisfaction. Because Soo-yeon is confirmed alive, Sun-hee's father is released from police custody. He learns from Detective Shin that Hyun-yeon was stabbed and is in critical condition. Sun-hee's parents try calling their daughter. No answer. A horrible feeling settles over them. They drive home as fast as possible, and see their house engulfed in flames. Fire trucks and ambulances surround the property. Their nightmare has become reality. Paramedics carry out Officer Lee on a stretcher. He's badly injured but alive. "Where's my daughter?" Sun-hee's mother screams. "Where's Sun-hee?" No one answers. There's no sign of Sun-hee or Soo-yeon anywhere. Sun-hee's parents collapse, holding each other. The thought of losing another child, after losing their son 12 years ago, is unbearable. "Not again," Sun-hee's mother whispers through tears. "Please, not again." While rescue workers search the burning house. Afterward, he took both Sun-hee and Soo-yeon away. The police didn't find any bodies at the fire scene and determined Sun-hee should still be alive. They suspect Soo-yeon set the fire and kidnapped Sun-hee. Sun-hee's adoptive father secretly calls old Jang. He already knows everything was done by old Jang and demands to know his daughter's whereabouts. Old Jang is smug, demanding that Sun-hee's father prepare a sum of money to ransom his daughter by noon tomorrow. He says he plans to leave the country and threatens that Sun-hee's father must come alone, otherwise Sun-hee's life will be in danger. After ending the call, old Jang hums a song as he comes to the commercial district, finally stopping at a shoe store entrance. With a casual expression, he selects a pair of women's shoes. At the same time, Sun-hee awakens from unconsciousness to find herself in an unfamiliar factory. The man guarding her is fast asleep. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Sun-hee plans to escape. Unfortunately, old Jang happens to return. Old Jang throws the shoes he bought in front of Sun-hee, telling her to put them on. Sun-hee obediently puts on the shoes. At this moment, Sun-hee's adoptive father sends old Jang a message, saying he needs time to raise the money and asking old Jang to wait. Old Jang knows full well that Sun-hee's father plans to leave his daughter to die. Sun-hee keeps asking old Jang about Soo-yeon's whereabouts. She's very worried about her friend. Old Jang just gives a cold laugh, threatening that if Sun-hee cooperates, he'll guarantee Soo-yeon's safety. Next, old Jang voluntarily tells Sun-hee the entire truth. The first truth old Jang reveals is that he is Sun-hee's biological father. However, to old Jang's surprise, when hearing these words, Sun-hee's expression doesn't show much shock. Sun-hee calmly tells her biological father she had already thought of this possibility. In fact, from the first meeting, Sun-hee felt old Jang looked familiar and resembled her biological father from her memories. Additionally, old Jang's gesture of tossing food into his mouth. Sun-hee remembers her biological father had the exact same habit. After revealing their father-daughter relationship, the biological father tells Sun-hee even more about the past. According to the biological father's account, many years ago, Sun-hee's adoptive parents killed their own son and then blamed him for it. Fearing the truth would come out, they deliberately adopted Sun-hee, intending to use Sun-hee as a hostage so he wouldn't dare speak the truth. After being framed by Sun-hee's parents and imprisoned for many years, upon his release, with a friend's help, the biological father quickly found his daughter Sun-hee's whereabouts. The biological father says that when he saw his grown daughter, he was originally very happy, until he saw that his daughter's adoptive parents were the very couple who had framed him. In the biological father's view, the adoptive parents are hypocrites wearing false masks. In the days that followed, the biological father says he was always thinking of ways to rescue Sun-hee, until the incident of Jin-ho's death occurred. The adoptive mother confesses that she and her husband were nearly driven insane by old Jang. Detective Shin believes the couple's story and immediately dispatches a fully armed special forces team to position themselves in a building across from where old Jang is holding Sun-hee hostage. At this moment, the impatient old Jang calls, angrily asking the adoptive father when he'll bring the ransom. Following the detective's instructions, the adoptive father delays as much as possible on the phone, asking old Jang to patiently wait for him at the location. Shortly after hanging up, the Special Forces team confirms old Jang's and the hostages' positions inside the building. However, due to obstacles inside the building, they cannot conduct a long-distance sniper shot. At this time, the adoptive father proposes that he go to negotiate. As a father, he must rescue his daughter. Although it's dangerous, as someone who also has a child, Detective Shin understands the adoptive father's feelings and finally agrees. Inside the building, old Jang reminds his biological daughter Sun-hee, who is being held hostage, that to the adoptive parents, Sun-hee is nothing more than a toy to play with. Once her usefulness is over, she'll be discarded. Even now, although Sun-hee has doubts, she still has difficulty believing the adoptive parents are the kind of people old Jang describes them to be. At this moment, the adoptive father arrives. Old Jang immediately points a gun at Sun-hee's forehead, demanding in exchange money for the person. The adoptive father decisively throws down the ransom bag. Unexpectedly, old Jang changes his tune, claiming what he really wants isn't money but revenge against the rich, against this unjust world.